everyone, a very good morning to all. Welcome to Officers Adda 247. So today we are going to discuss about what are the annuities and how we can solve the questions related to annuities in the examination. And from the exam point of view, this topic is very important because you will get like 4 to 5 marks questions. Some questions are very straightway and some questions are of the difficult level that you may get in the examination of the 4 to 5 marks questions in the examination. So this topic is very important, and to understand the basic concepts of the annuities, that is most important. Okay, so let's start today's session and just start with today is your opportunity to build your tomorrow you want, and that exactly we just understand like this. This is a very correct opportunity, this is a very right opportunity, because probably from 2023 your syllabus is just going to change with with one additional subject as well as one replacement subject, like LRB is just going to eliminate. So you have to for qualifying the JAIIB examination you have to clear 4 subjects. So this is a very correct opportunity, just you should just grab this. Okay, so let's start today's session. Before to start, I would like to say our target batch is started, and by enrolling in this target batch, you are just do not need to worry what to read, from where to start your preparation. Do not need to worry anything. We are here for you. We have a perfect study plan. We have everything for you. Okay, and whatever we are going to teach you, that all are based on the previous and memory based questions. So that is very important. That is very essential if you are just want to grab this opportunity for clearing the examination, and not only for the 50 marks but for the very good marks like 65 plus 70 plus. Okay, so that's why we are here for you, like for understanding your basic concepts about the accounting, for everything. Okay, and in this target batch, PPB and LRB classes is just started, and AB class is going to start from the 4th of April. So this is I think this is a very correct opportunity. So you can also avail this batch at very big discount, like you only have to use the code Y422, and with this code you are going to get maximum discount on this batch. Okay, I think this is a very correct time. Okay, so let's start today's session. So today we are going to understand a very important topic, that of your accounting subject, that is annuity. So let's understand what are the annuities and how we can solve the questions related to annuities in the examination. So let's understand. Okay, so whenever we talk about annuities, so it is you have to understand it is a series of the payment that over a certain period of the time, right? So whenever we are talking about any series of the payment that may occur over a certain period of the time, that is known as the annuity. Okay, so after that, after this session, like whenever you see a term that is annuities, you have to understand this is nothing but it is known as the series of the payment. That's it. Okay, so annuities, that is series of the payment, and it over a certain period, like we can also understand as, like we can say, we paid a car rent, we paid a house rent. So that are the examples of the annuities. Okay, so whenever we are talking about any series of the fixed payment that over a certain period of time, that is known as an annuity. Okay, so suppose that you are paying your car rent, suppose that 11,000 rupees per month you are paying your car rent, right? So for the, like if we are talking about for the monthly. Okay, so for the first month 11,000, for the another month 11,000. So that is the perfect example of your annuity. Okay, so whenever you are talking about any series of the fixed payment, that is fixed payment. Okay, like 11,000 I am paying for the first month, 11,000 I am paying for the second month. Okay, so that is fixed payment over a certain period of the time, that is known as your annuity. I hope it is now very pretty much understandable for everyone, right? Okay, and we also can understand this is a common payment frequencies are like it may be for the yearly, it may be for your quarterly, it may be for your monthly, and it may be for any like any kind of the frequency like yearly, quarterly, monthly. Okay, so whenever we talk about like any payment that you have to made yearly purposes, like we are talking about here monthly. If we are talking about for the yearly, like you have to pay yearly like suppose that 1,20,000 rupees in the first year, and in the second year you are just paying the 1,20,000 rupees. So that is the payment of the frequency, that is known as the payment of the frequency. Okay, so we can also can understand like yearly, quarterly, that means when 4 times a year you can make any payment. And we are talking about the monthly, like when you talk like once in the month. So that's all about for the payment of the frequency. Okay, and it may be differ like yearly, quarterly, monthly, right? Okay, now the another thing that very important to understand, that is type of the annuities. Okay, so there are two basic type of the annuities you have to understand in the annuity chapter. Okay, so there are two types, like one of the type that is annuity due, and another one that is ordinary annuity. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the annuity due, like whenever we have to make the payment at the starting of the period, so that is known as the your accounting due. And whenever we have to make payment at the end of the each period, so that is known as the ordinary annuity case. Okay, so you have to understand what we understand by the annuity due and what we understand by the ordinary annuity. Okay, so you have to understand like by this figure, like if we are talking about any kind of the period. Okay, so this is a period, this is your period, right? So whenever you have to make payment at the starting of the period, or say at the beginning of the period, okay, so that is the case of your annuity due, that is the case of your annuity due. And whenever you have to make payment at the end of the period, so that is known as the ordinary annuity case, right? So that is known as the case of your ordinary annuity. So you can understand very well by this figure, right? So after that, we have to understand whenever we have to make any kind of the payment, any kind of the fixed payment, any kind of the fixed payment, and at the regular interval at the beginning of the period, so we have to follow the case of the annuity due. And whenever we have to make payment, whenever we have to make the fixed payment at the end of the period, so that is the case of the ordinary annuity. So you have to understand like this. Okay, now we are going to understand very important thing, that is present value and the future value of the annuities. And from that you will get multiple questions in the examination. Okay, you will get some questions in the form of the formulas, like you will get 1 marks question from that, like the formula of the present value of the ordinary annuity, formula for the present value of the your annuity due. So that is a case we have to understand here, and you will get lot of questions from this single topic. Okay, so present value and future value of the annuities, you will get the formulas as well as you may get the numericals as well. Okay, so that is most important thing to understand. Okay, so we are actually dividing this thing into two parts. The first part, we are taking the cases of the ordinary annuity, right? And another part we are taking for the annuity due. And there are very slightly difference between the ordinary annuity and annuity due cases, we can easily understand here. Okay, so if we're talking about the future value of the ordinary annuity, so what we understand by the future value of the ordinary annuity, so whenever we are talking about future value of the ordinary annuity, so that is known as your the future value of an ordinary annuity, that is useful for finding out how much you would have in the future by investing at a given interest rate. So that is the case, like suppose that you are investing from today like 1,000 rupees in the 1 month, 1,000 rupees in the second month, 1,000 rupees in the 3 months. Okay, so if we are just talking about, suppose that you are just investing this 1,000 rupees till 5 years, because we are talking about the month like 1,000 per month, so we can also say that for the 60 months. Okay, so suppose that you are investing 1,000 rupees till 5 years, or say till 60 months, right? And at the given interest rate, suppose that 5%, right? So we have to follow the case, like if we have to know about what is the future value, like whatever we are investing today, so that is the case of your future value of the ordinary annuity. Okay, so whenever you are going to get the questions in the examination, so the question will be in the form like it would be mentioned at like you are investing 1,000 rupees at the end of the every period, at the end of the each period. So you have to understand this is a case of the ordinary annuity. Okay, right? Because here we are talking about the ending of the period, and here we are talking about the starting of the period. Okay, I hope it is understandable. So if we are talking about like future value, what would be the future value of the ordinary annuity? So that would be your C multiplied by the 1 plus R to the power n minus 1, and it would be divided by the R, right? So where C denotes the cash flow is also known as the your fixed payment. Okay, so whatever you are made a fixed payment, that is known as the cash flow. R denotes the interest rate. R denotes the interest rate, and N denotes the number of the payment. N denotes the number of the payment. Okay, I hope it is pretty much understandable for everyone, right? So if we are talking about what is the formula of the future value of the ordinary annuity, so that would be equal to C multiplied by the 1 plus R to the power n minus 1, and it would be divided by the R, right? And if you're talking about the present value of the ordinary annuity, so we have to nothing worry about that. We have to just whatever the component we have taken here in the positive term, we only have to take in the negative term. Like if you're talking about the present value of the ordinary annuity, so how we can write the formula of this, like C multiplied by, now here 1 is in the negative form, so just make it in the positive, like 1 minus, and here 1 plus R to the power n in the positive way. So we have to just change the sign here, like 1 plus R to the power n, and instead of writing the n, we would just write here minus n, and it would be divided by the R. Okay, so I hope it is understandable for everyone, right? I think it is understandable. Just let me erase here everything and write this everything in a very fresh way. So we are talking about the formula of the ordinary annuity. Just understand. We are talking about the formula of the ordinary annuity. So what we understand by the ordinary annuity, whenever we are just made or say whenever we are just making the series of the payment at the end of the period, so that is the case of the ordinary annuity. So first we have to understand what is the future value if we are making any any series of the payment, any series of the fixed payment at the end of the any period. So what the future value of that payment? Okay, so that would be equal to the cash flow multiplied by the 1 plus R to the power n minus 1, and it would be divided by the R. Okay, I hope it is understandable. And if we are talking about the present value of the ordinary annuity, so what if we only have to convert the sign? Like if any component having the plus sign, so we have to convert in the negative sign, and if any component having negative sign, so we have to convert in the positive sign. So like in this, like 1 plus R to the power n, it is in the positive term, so we have to keep in the negative, as well as 1 is in the negative figure, so we have to keep in a in the positive term. So that would be equal to 1 plus R, and very important thing here to understand, you have to keep this plus n to the minus n. Why we are taking this minus n? Because you have to understand, now we are calculating the present value. Okay, and whenever we have to just calculate the present value, that means we have to move backward in the timeline. Okay, so that's why we are using the component that is minus n. Okay, and this n is considered as the number of the payment. Okay, there is a very important thing to understand. If question is about the monthly, like you have mentioned, like there is all component you have to just calculate for the monthly, so there would be there you have to consider it for the monthly purposes. And if there is an yearly, all the components are given for the yearly, so you have to calculate for the yearly. Okay, so like suppose that any question there are given a 5 years, and the question is about the monthly, so you have to convert in the months, that you have to understand. So there would be the value of the n, that would be 60 months. But if the question that all components are given in the years, in the yearly, in the annum in the annum cases, so you have to there write n is equal to 5. Okay, so I hope it is also understandable for everyone, right? Now Now the we just understand here, till here we understand what is the formula of the future value and the present value of the ordinary annuity. Now the very important thing we are going to understand, that is what the formula of the annuity due. That is also very important thing to understand, right? So what will be the formula of the annuity due? You only need to multiply, 1 plus r. That's it. You only need to multiply 1 plus r, and now it will become annuity due. Formula of the annuity due for the present value as well as the future value. Okay, I hope it is now understandable for everyone. Okay, so what we understand by the future value of the annuity due, like each payment in the series is made over period sooner, and we need to discount the formula, like formula 1 period later. So that is the case of the annuity due. Okay, so what is the formula of the future value of the annuity due? So that would be the formula. And what we understand by the present value of the annuity due, now we again need to discount the formula 1 period forward, and as the payment are held for a lesser amount of the time, so that is clearly 1 plus r times the present value of an ordinary annuity, right? So most of the time you actually get the question like what we understand by the present value of the annuity due, and you will get what will be the formula of the annuity due, like if I say what will be the formula of the present value of the annuity due, so it would be equal to 1 plus r, that would be multiplied by the present value of the ordinary annuity. So you have to click that option. Okay, I hope it is understandable. Okay, so now if I say what will be the formula that of the ordinary annuity and annuity due, so how you can write that? This is the case of your ordinary annuity, and this is a very important topic. That's why I am just trying to I think most of ones who are watching this video, I think you are just memorized now the formula. That is future value would be equal to c multiply 1 plus r to the power n minus 1, and it is divided by the r. And what is the formula of the future value of the annuity due? So that would be equal to c multiplied 1 plus r to the power n minus 1, and it would be divided by the r, and it would be multiplied by the 1 plus r. So future value of an annuity due, that is 1 plus r times the future value of an ordinary annuity. Okay, it is also you can write as a 1 plus r that multiplied by the future value of an ordinary annuity. Okay, this is also can be right in this way. I hope it is understandable, and most of the time you will get questions like in this way also. Okay, I hope it is understandable. Okay. Now the present value of an ordinary annuity, so that would be equal to 1 minus 1 plus r to the power minus n, and it would be divided by the r. So the present value of an annuity due, that would be equal to c multiplied by the 1 minus 1 plus r to the power minus n, and it is divided by the r, and it would be again multiplied by the, that is 1 plus r. Okay, so this is how we solve, this is how we can memorize the formula of the ordinary annuity and annuity due, and that is most important thing to understand. Okay, now we are going to understand a question, and that question is very important in terms of the examination. Okay, because from that you are going to understand how you have to solve the questions in the exam. So the question that if you need 1,20,000 rupees over 5 years, so that you can replace your machine, so what monthly deposit that would be required if it is invested at 12%, that is compounded monthly. Okay, so how you can solve this question in the examination, that you have to understand. So that that you need 1,20,000 rupees over 5 years, that means you have required after 5 years 1,20,000 rupees. So somewhere it is given the future value of your annuity, that is 1,20,000 rupees. Okay, and the term period that is given the 5 years. So you also can write here 5 years, right? So that you can replace your machine. So what monthly deposit that would be required? So the question that what monthly deposit that would be required, that means you have to calculate this question for the month. So we also convert like 5 years, that would be equal to 1 year, that is equal to the 12 months. So that would be equal to the 60 months, right? So that value of the n, or say number of the payment, that would be required for the 60 months, right? After that, the rate of interest, that is given 12% per annum, but it is compounded monthly. So we can also write in this way, that is 12%, and it is again divided by the 12 for your calculating the monthly purposes. So that would be equal to the 1%, which also can be write as a 0.01, right? After that, we know that the formula of the future value of the ordinary annuity, that is cash flow, that would be multiplied by the 1 plus r to the power n minus 1, and it is divided by the r. Okay, so now the future value is already given, so you just only have to write here, that is 1,20,000 rupees, like this way. Okay, after that, the cash flow, that you have to calculate, because if I say that in the question you have to calculate what monthly deposit that would be required, so that means you have to calculate the cash flow here. So just write here cash flow. After that, the rate of interest, which is given 0.01, so just write in this way, and the value of the n, that is number of the payment. So number of the payment, that would be equal to the 60, and that would be minus 1, and after that it is divided by again 0.01. Okay, now we have to solve. So we have a two, like we have to calculate this value also, like 1.01 to the power 60. So how we can calculate this value? So, in the exam, that already provided, like in this way, like given 1.01 to the power 60, the value is already given in the examination. But if in the case it is not given, so we have to know that how we can determine this value in the exam. All right. So you only need to factorize this power in very small denomination, like 1.01. And if I say that is 60, so we can also write in this way, 12 multiplied by the 5. We can also write in this way, like 3 multiplied by the 4 multiplied by the 5. Is it clear for everyone? Okay. So in this way, we can also write this like 1.01 to the power 3 multiplied by the 4 multiplied by the 5. Okay. So that would be also equal to the 60. All right. After that, if you just saw my previous lecture, that is the AMI session, which I have taken. So in that, I already explained you like how you can calculate the value of this value, like 1.01 to the power 60 or any kind of the value. I already explained. So the first thing that you have to do, just put the value in your calculator, like 1.01. This value you have to put this in your calculator. The second step, that you have to press the multiplication sign. If you're using the Casio calculator, then maybe you have to press the 2 times this multiplication sign. Okay, otherwise in the basic or simple calculator, you have to press only 1 time that multiplication sign. You have to check rather the means that in what case that you are getting the values in the correct format. Okay, so that you have to press the multiplication sign the 1 time. Okay, after that you have to press the equal sign. And how many times you have to press the equal sign? That is minus 1 time. That if the value of the n, that is 3 here, that means you have to press minus 1 time. Like you have to press the 2 times this, you have to press 3 times this, and you have to press 5, you have to press the 4 times for this. Okay, so we have to press the that equal sign for the 2 times for reaching the value of the 3. Okay, we can also write in this way, like 1.01 to the power 3, to the power 4, and to the power 5. So first we have to reach the value of the 1.01 to the power 3. For that, we have to put the value 1.01. After that, we have to press the 1 time multiplication sign. After that, we have to press the equal sign for the 2 time, that is minus 1 time. Okay, after that, now we just get the value of the 1.01 to the power 3. Now we have to reach the value of the 1, like we have to reach to the power of the 4. So how we can reach? Now we again have to press the multiplication sign, and now again we have to press the equal sign. And now how many times we have to press the equal sign? That is 3 times. That is 3 times. Okay, so now we just reach to the power 4. Now again we have to reach to the power of the 5. So how we can just reach to the power 5? That we again have to press the multiplication sign, and now we again have to press the equal sign, and how many times? That would be equal to the 4 times. Okay, now we are just going to get the value of this particular, like 1.01 to the power 60. We can get the value. Okay, so if anyone has calculated, just tell me what will be the value of this, like 1.01 to the power 60. What would be the value? That would be 1.8166967. So that would be your value for the 1.01 to the power 60. Okay, so now we just have to put this value in this, and no, we have to just multiply with this. So we get the value 1200, and it would be multiplied by the 1.81, sorry, it would be divided by the 1.8166967 minus 1. Okay, and this would be equal to C. Now the value of the C, that would be 1200, that would be 0.8166967. Okay, so now just calculate and tell me what would the value you just getting. That would be equal to the 1469.33. So that would be your value for this question. Okay, so this is how we solve the questions of the annuity. The most important thing you are just understand, like this is the simplest question that you get. In the most of the question you are going to get like present value of the ordinary annuity, annuity due. And in the examination you are going to get these kind of the questions, like in the multiple way, like some questions of the theoretical form, some questions of the in the formula way. Okay, and some questions in the numerical way. So you're going to get these kind of the questions. So that's all for this session. I hope this session is useful for everyone. Okay. Okay, so that's all for this session, and now I'm just explaining you how you can enroll in our target batch, because this target batch is very essential for clearing your JAIIB examination. So let me show here how you can enroll in our batches. So the first thing that you have to just visit the adda247.com JIB exam kit, okay, where you will find multiple batches that actually running and that actually scheduled for your examination. And you will find multiple batches of the bilingual batches as well as the English medium batches. Okay, so you can also purchase, you can also enroll in the individual subject, like if you just enroll in the PPB, in the AFB, in the LRB. So you can also enroll in the you just have to just visit the view all, and after that you can just able to enroll in any individual batches. Okay, so if you just want to enroll in the target batch, suppose that, okay, so in the target batch, if you just enroll, like you will get a mock test, ebooks, as well as a live classes. Okay, and you know how you can enroll in this, like you have to just click the buy now section, and in the buy now section you have to apply the code, that is Y422, and you will get a big discount from this code. Okay, and now just think that flat 77% off you will get by applying the code, that is Y422. Okay, so this is how you can enroll in our target batches, as well as you can just apply this code in any JAB and CAP product, and you will get the big discount on that. Okay, so that's all for this session. I hope this session is useful for you, and if you have not downloaded the Adda 247 application, just download this and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel, so that you can get the notifications of the live sessions, notifications of the important news that is related to your examination. So just download the Adda 247 application and subscribe the Officers Adda 247 YouTube channel. So now we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. Thanks for watching me here. Thanks for joining me here. Like this video if you're liking our effort, liking our content, and share this video to your friends so that maximum number of our colleagues can join with us. So again, thanks for